Yes, Mr. Muhammad Abdul Sheikh has, you know. Huh? No, please.
Until yesterday.
And you have influenced quite a few people now.
Major arrangements, one day he will ask, the other day he will ask.
Have they come to an agreement? Very good. I see. Please.
Until yesterday, my understanding was that the claims of the promised Messiah, peace be upon him, were that in 1889 he claimed to be Imam Mahdi, and then a little while later the Muslim in 1890s, yes. Early 90s, yes. He claimed to be Messiah as well. That's right. Yes. And then in 1901 he claimed to be a follower prophet. But I was told that by Mulvi Abdul Karim Sharma Sahib that actually he was prophet from 1889, but he wasn't quite aware of his own status until 1901. This of course greatly surprised me. Now,
the fact is that Hazrat Masih Maud was being addressed as a prophet right from the beginning, but he would interpret it differently, being a humble man, as always the prophets are. He would not conceive of himself as a prophet in the the true definition of the prophet, according to the Quranic term. So prophet can also be usually applied, the word prophet, to those to whom Allah speaks or who speak on behalf of Allah. So this is why we tried not to face this situation. Like Hazrat sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he first got the revelation, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, he thought he was too humble to have received such a thing. So he said, what has happened to me? Despite the fact that it was a very certain revelation, he expressed doubt. That was not in fact a doubt about what had happened. It was again an expression of humility. How could such a thing have happened to me? That was what he wanted to say. So this is why Hazrat Masih Maud avoided consciously interpreting it as such. If you see a good dream in which your status is shown to you, the same would be your reaction. But if later on Allah continues to tell you that you have a better status and higher status than you think you are, then ultimately there is no way out. So this is why Hazrat Masih Maud has written in Haqiqatul Wahi that when he addressed me as Messiah, I wouldn't accept it as such. I thought it was just a token, a word of endearment and nothing more. And he says, what nisbat is, who am I, in other words, who am I as compared to Jesus Christ, or what comparison do I hold against him? These are the words of Masih Maud said, I thought that, but then revelation came upon me like rain, and it left me no way of escape but to accept this position. So this is the expression of humility which we read in many of his books, and out of the same humility he did not accept the big offices which were bestowed upon him by Allah. So when ultimately he faced the situation, then he began to claim, and that was the time when he invited hostility, when he openly claimed that. Otherwise the revelations were already there in the books. So this is why I mentioned Brahine Ahmediyya. The arguments against the Hindus were there, but they did not create hostility at all, because there was no claim to go with. The moment he made a claim, then the same arguments became the source of irritation to Hindus, and they started behaving like enemies to him.
Thank you.
Now, Abdul Rashid, yes, please, after you.